Wow, where'd you go to school at? Did you go to high school around here or in California?
California. I went to Bourbon Day High School, Catholic school.
You college after that?
Went to University of Southern California. And I went to Hampton Institute. I got drafted by the San Antonio Spurs in 1991.
Damn.
Made the team. Went to Mexico for a couple of years. Came back, worked as a security guard, and then got into security management. And then
What you mean, bro? He went from being drafted to working as a security guard? That's a humbling, man. That gotta be humbling. That's humbling. You go from playing high school ball, college ball, getting drafted. You don't make the team. You don't make the big leagues. You ain't making it to the NBA. But after that, you go to being a security guard?
during that time, I went to part-time police academy, got my certification, got married, had kids, got divorced, moved out here. She followed me out here, then she moved back. We've been together since 1998. You know, we've had our ups and downs. She's kicked me out 3 times. This time, actually, I just decided, you know, to move because it was I just couldn't cope anymore. Just the way she was treating me, and I just didn't see a future. But the thing is that we were still linked by the house, and you know, I still talked to her, and she still called me, and I was doing some work on her website. You know, and just that I'm straightforward. I don't hide things. I don't lie to people. You know, I was headed to go fishing, and I forgot my bucket and my folding chair. My folding chair is in my old office. I should have never been there. I should have never been there. I could have just got another fucking bucket.
On March 25th, 2010, Lionel's ex-girlfriend wanted to remove some of her belongings from the home they once shared. She brought her boyfriend with her to lend a hand.
It ain't no reason for bro to be there. You ain't got no reason for bringing that man on another man's property. If you getting your stuff, if you don't feel cool with getting your stuff, then pay somebody. Pay somebody to come up through there. But no, I'm going to tell you right now, no, you're not bringing nobody to my shit, bro. Nah, and it ain't even gotta be no beef. It ain't even gotta be no beef. That's just a respect thing. That's a respect thing. That's a respect. You gotta respect that, bro. You gotta respect that, bro. Nah.
When Lionel saw them together, it filled him with rage, so he shot him 4 times. After he was dead, Lionel called the police and waited for them to arrive.
Oh, shit.
When I go fishing, I don't even eat the fucking fish. I just don't like it.
Damn.
So you ready to go fishing? You went by the house real quick to get the bucket?
Just to get that. Just to get, they were just stupid, you know.
Take time.
What happened when you got there?
You know, you hear things, you see things, you interpret things, and you ask questions, you know. You know, I always ask you, you know, what is it with you and this guy? You know, and since we moved there, he would always come around when I wasn't there. And, you know, neighbors sneakered about it. Hey, you know, see this white truck the other time? I'm like, all right, so I asked her, well, yeah, he bought a dog from her. And something happened to the dog. She replaced it. You know, he's a plumber. He does handiwork. He lost his job. But it was just odd. And just the way they behaved around me, you know, I don't know. It just started going. Every time I asked her a question, she just, it's none of your business, or she would just lie. And I lost it. I lost it. You know, it's just like I saw this Sunday, and I, you know, wonder, you know, and I asked him, you know, why are you at the house again? You know, he's supposed to have a girlfriend, but he spends more time in my house than his. And I just left because I had some stuff, some urgent things to do.
Was this Sunday?
Yeah, and then you know, today I go, there he is, just walking out of the house like he owned it, you know, and I just lost it. And I lost it, and, you know, it was really f***ed up because
It was cool.
today I bought the holster, and I've been carrying it in the trunk. I always kept, even when I got my permit, I had a case, kept it in the trunk. You know, it's just stupid. Just,
Where was it today? You know, like even the truck, where was it today?
it was on the car seat.
The carrying case or the holster too?
I know, the holster, I had it on.
Oh, you had it on? You normally have it on, or you...
No, I was just trying to get used to having it. I normally don't, you know, even carry it. I mean, the only time I actually carry the gun is when I go downtown. So I have this little side business where I do web hosting, and I park downtown to go up at the telecom building, and it's scary, you know. And that was one of my biggest concerns. And that was it. That was the only reason, you know. I mean, but it's just that I picked it up today, and I put it on my way just to get used to it. And, you know, my gut is so big, it was uncomfortable. It wasn't comfortable. So I put the gun under the seat. You know, I read that pamphlet on the weapon where it's, you know, you got to keep it on you or near you, and I just stuck it under the seat. And, you know, I just said I pulled up. I saw her coming out. I put it in park, and I was just going to go, you know, and tell her I'm going to go in and get the chair. And then I saw him walking out, and you know, and, oh.
Bro, was they cool? I don't get it. I don't understand why he would be there. I don't get why he'd be there, bro. I don't. And to be honest, yeah, you going to jail, bro. You going to jail. And also, it's interesting because if he was a former, well, he wasn't an interrogator, so yeah, but I'm sure you know how that process go. I'm sure he has some kind of knowledge about how the process work. I don't think he lying though. I really don't. I don't think he lying though. I think it's like he said when he saw bro walking up out that house, he lost his mind, so he did what he did. But yeah, bro, man, everything had to work that day. Everything had to work. He had to forget his host, or what did he say? He forgot his folding chair on his way to go fishing. She just so happened to pull up at that time. Yeah, man.
So when you saw him walking out, did you just get angry? I mean, were you just upset?
I don't know what I was thinking. I don't know. Yeah.
Did she say anything to you when you walked out, or did you say anything to her or
She
him?
was standing right in front of me, and she said, well, I think she said you were going to Miami. And I said, yeah, I was. And I am. I mean, that was the plan. And after that, it's just, it all happened so fast, you know? And
Was he still inside when you were talking to her outside?
no, he was outside on the patio.
He'd already walked out?
Yeah.
Okay.
So what happens next? I know you say you lost it, and you can go slow if you want to, but
He was laying on the ground, man, bleeding and gasping for air.
okay. How did he get that way?
Oh. Don't make...
So part of this process, Lionel, is, and I know it's hard for you, okay, is to take it step by step, and if you need time, that's fine. But, you know, we need to hear what happened, okay? Because the only thing we know is what we see, and we don't know how it gets that way. You understand what I'm saying? I believe you are. I believe you're sorry.
Oh, God.
But like I said, you know, we have to get the truth out here.
Oh, the gentleman is dead.
I understand that. But it's our jobs to figure out how he got that way, okay? And unfortunately right now, you're the only one that can tell us that. So we know that you go there to get a chair, okay? We know that your gun is under the front seat, the front driver's seat, is that correct?
Yeah.
Okay. You get out of the car, you have the the gun holster around your waist, but the gun's not in there. It's underneath the front driver's seat.
I put it in my back pocket.
Okay. So you get out of the driver's seat, you pull in the driveway, you get out of the driver's seat, and you plan on going inside just to get a bucket or a chair. Is that correct? Go fishing.
The chair, the bucket was in
Bucket in the house?
it was on the side of the house.
Side of the house, okay. And as you get out, you see her, and what's her first name? Comes out, and then you see him walk out of the house behind her.
And she walks out,
Okay.
and goes by on the side of his truck,
Mm-hmm.
and then I go into the patio, and I'm telling him I gotta get my chair,
All right.
and then I see him walking out with the dogs, like he owned the house, and I shouldn't have been there. I shouldn't have been there.
Lionel was a hoarder. He hated letting things go, even if they no longer served a purpose. His home was filled with the things he collected over the years that he had no use for. Lionel had been dating his girlfriend for over 10 years, and when he saw another man taking her away from him, he couldn't stand the thought of losing her.
At that point, did he say anything at all?
It looked like he was raising his hand, or I don't know what he was doing with his right hand. I couldn't tell. But I just reacted, and
How'd you react?
I reached in my back pocket, and the only thing I can remember after that, he was just laying there. And then I ran over and got her and I said, look.
Hold up, bro is an officer, so you mean to tell me as a train, man, my thing with it is, it go both ways, bro. I'm sure in situations that you done encountered on the streets, you had to recall what happened. I'm sure you could recall that. Now, with this situation, it's different. This is a first-person view. You first person on this. I get it, and I understand that. But just throughout your career, I'm sure you've had to recount situations that didn't happen. You done had to show up to trials and all of that, during cases and all of that. Re-corroborate? Retell your story. Retell the version of events of the things that happened. So you've done it before, bro. Again, I'm looking at this situation like, okay, cool. He did what he did. He took homeboy up out of here, but he know how this work. And he called him Dan. So that mean that he know Dan, and it's not to say that they working together or, it's some foul shit going on, internal investigation. No, it ain't none of that. I'm not saying none of that. But what I am saying is he know how this whole situation work, and in this type of situation, he would probably manipulate it to get it to go into his favor, Yeah, bro, I'm not gonna rule that out, man. We talking about life here, man. He shot his girl. I mean, she shot. Good morning, man. Let's get the marathon going, family.
We gotta get help. And that's when I got the house phone, and then she was trying to use her phone, and the cell phone was never working in the house. We're running back and forth. We got to get the dogs in the house so we can try to help them. Then I'm calling and I'm asking her to help me. I'm trying to tell paramedics what's going on. And she's running off to the fucking gate, and I'm trying to get her to help me, and she just keeps going on and on. And
So you say you reach back into your back pocket. What's in your back pocket?
oh God.
That rocket?
My back pocket.
You told me the gun was under the front seat.
Yes.
Okay, so what's in your back pocket?
My back pocket was my gun.
Okay, so the gun wasn't under your front seat, it was in your back pocket?
When I drove to the house, the gun was under the seat. It wasn't in my back pocket because if you look at my car, you notice that my seat, because
Big guy?
big guy,
Okay.
the springs burst. So I'm sitting on this Hubble thing. So even my wallet, if I put it in my pocket, hurts my ass. Use my language.
It's okay.
So I didn't have it in my back pocket while I was driving there.
Okay. So before you get out of the car, you get it from underneath the seat and put it in your back pocket. Is that what you're saying?
I had my cell phone on the side. I grabbed my cell phone, stuck that in my pocket. I reached underneath, got it, and put it in my back pocket.
And when you say yeah, you mean the gun,
The
right?
gun.
Okay.
I got out of the car, and I closed the door. She was coming up. And I said, I got to get my chair in the back room. She was like going towards the kennels. And
No, not the front.
thanks.
Yeah, see. That's it.
I'm just trying to describe how I was moving.
Oh, okay.
Okay? But she went, the truck, okay, my car is right here. All right, that's his truck, the water. My car is right here. I walked around here. There's the door, okay, the side door. She comes around one of the dogs. She moves by his truck, behind his truck and my car, and says, I'm going to go in and get my chair. And then I just turned, I looked at her, and then I closed my eyes, see him coming out of the house, and I'm like, you know, and then I just went towards him.
Well, we're here just to get the truth, man, okay? I'm not here to try to put words in your mouth. And we're here to listen to what you have to say.
But I'm trying to tell you that things move fast, and they're sketchy, and I'm trying to just recall things as they happen. You know, it may sound silly that it was just for some reason, but, you know, in 2 hours my life has changed from not ever being in handcuffs other than during training,
Mm-hmm.
than sitting here and answering it as a fucking homicide. And that's just that. It's just that man's dead.
That's true.
Okay?
Let me jump forward a little bit, okay? And the deputy arrives on scene,
Yeah.
okay? Short female?
Yeah.
Okay. What do you tell her when she first gets there? Do you remember? Do you have the gun on you?
Yeah, it was in my back pocket, and I, you know, because the dispatcher wanted me to take it and put it somewhere.
Okay.
And, you know, I know a little bit about chain of custody. I didn't want to, I just said, look, it's in my back pocket. And they just loaded, and she turned so she could pick it up, take it, put it out.
Okay.
So I wasn't hiding anything. I wasn't,
Okay.
you know, I was just trying to be as cooperative as possible.
Okay.
The event just happened.
What else did you have on your person that she got from you? Do you remember?
Yeah, I had my fishing knife.
That Smith & Wesson little folding knife?
Yeah,
Okay.
and I remember about that later, because it was jingling around, and I had the extra clip that I had on the other side of my belt, and that was uncomfortable. So the guy said it wouldn't be comfortable, and I didn't think it would be comfortable at all.
Was that in your holster thing that you?
Yeah, and I took it out, and it was in my pocket when I went to Publix, and I kept saying, I got to take the shit out of my pocket, and I just blanked out. I went to Publix and got some stuff, and then they just kept jingling with my knife, and I said, well, when I get home, I'll take it out. Now, just like I told the guy at the range, look, if you have a gun and you have to use more than one clip, you know, defending yourself, and that's all it was for, you know.
When did you buy the gun?
Oh, 4 or 5 months ago.
Oh, okay.
Lionel claims that he purchased the gun only 4 months prior to the shooting. This brings up today's question for you, the viewer. Some would
Alright.
say that if Lionel had not been able to purchase the gun, his victim would still be alive. Others say if buying guns is illegal, then only criminals would have them, and Lionel was going to take a life regardless of what weapon he was using. What are your thoughts on this topic? Please.
I think that's false. Number one, how could he not buy a firearm if he's an officer? So you mean to tell me the only time I can have a firearm is when I'm at work? I can't have a firearm to protect myself when I'm away from work? Hell no, it ain't going down like that. And I don't. I feel like he probably may have shanked him. He might have poked him up a little bit or something like that, but I don't think he woke up that morning and his mind was set on offing that dude. No, I don't. I think it's like you said, bro. I think when he saw that fella coming out of his residence, if he was at his residence, because at this point in time, I don't know. But when he saw bro walking up out of there, he snapped. he snapped, and I don't think whatchamacallit, I don't think his whatchamacallit, damn, I keep saying whatchamacallit like the whatchamacallit. I don't think his weapon was in his pocket. I think it was under the seat, like he said. I think he had to go back to get it. I think he had to go back to get it. I think he hopped out that truck, he shut that door, and then when he walked up, he saw them two, and then he went back to the car and just snapped, bro. I think that's what happened. And to be honest, bro, shit, man, it ain't no time. It can happen to anybody. He said he been with him for 10 years. He been with her for 10 years. That's long, man. Shit, that's longer than a lot of the marriages that be going on out of here. He done been with Shorty for 10 years. I mean, life can happen. These things can happen. These things can happen to you in life. But damn, bro, to catch that body. But again, you got to be in this situation in order to understand or to feel what he going through. And I'm not saying that he right. I'm not saying that he wrong. At the end of the day, the young fella, the young man, he lost his life. He about to go to jail, and Shorty going to probably move a state over, get a new address, and be back on Tinder the next day. That's just how it work, bro.
Please share them in the comments below.
So let's go back to today. Okay. You get there, you see her, you remember seeing him, the gun's in your back pocket, the magazine is also on your person, and then you say you lost it, and then the next thing you know, everything happened so fast, and then he was laying on the ground. Is that correct?
Yes.
Do you remember anything from the time that you saw him to him laying on the ground? Do you remember anything that happened in between that time? I mean, did he say something to you? Did you just react to something that he did?
I saw a movement, he was coming towards me, his right hand was behind him, and when I saw his hand swing forward, I just reacted to that. I didn't know what to expect,
So is at that point, is that when you retrieved your gun from your pocket? And,
That is correct.
and then you shot him? Is that correct? I mean, is that a fair statement to say?
I'm assuming that's correct because the man is no longer with us.
Okay. I mean, you don't know having a firearm, right? I mean, she didn't have a gun, right?
Not that long.
Okay. Do you remember how many times you fired the firearm?
I don't.
Okay. At any time, did you point the firearm at?
Oh, yeah.
Let me ask you this. What did you do right after this happens?
She was standing by the truck and, wailing and yelling at me and I went up there and I said, what the fuck? That's all I can remember is what the fuck. And I put the gun in my back pocket and then I went in the house, because she went in the house. And I went in and then we got to get help. And my cell phone never works in there.
Did she tell you we need to get help, or did you say that?
We were both yelling that we got to get help.
Okay.
She tried her phone. She said the battery was dead, and I picked up the house phone. And I grabbed my phone. I had it in my left pocket, and I got her phone. I put it in my left pocket, and then I just go outside and try to help him. And the dispatcher kept telling her, "Can you get his pulse?" And the whole time she's trying to put the dogs away in different rooms. I says, "We got to help him. If you listen to the call, you'll hear me on there. I'm trying to get her to help me help him." And it just wasn't working. It just wasn't working.
Did you give him CPR or anything?
No, I'm on the phone trying to get somebody there, and I'm trying to get her to help me, and she's just somewhere else. I haven't done CPR in a long time, plus I got some medical problems, and
Lionel's girlfriend is still alive because his fear of losing her was stronger than the hate he had for her for leaving him. Because he was a hoarder, he couldn't stand the thought of losing her, so when he saw another man taking her away from him, his solution was to remove the other man. A hoarder will usually get mad at the people trying to get them to throw away their belongings instead of the items themselves.
Any violence in the past with you?
There's never been any violence. She,
Because I know she told us that she had an injunction against her. I was just wondering.
if you call a judge, you'll find out that that judge is waiting for her to try to do that again. She went in line and said that she was afraid of me, that I threatened her. And all it was that I had lost my job, and she co-signed for my truck. She didn't want the truck in her name anymore. I had a friend of mine put it in her name while I made payments, and then I got behind those payments, and we were struggling to make payments in the house. She got angry and pissed off, and one day I'm sitting there working, and a deputy shows up with a restraining order. And I'm like, what did I do? And there's no police report, nothing other than, a woman can do that, and anybody can do that. Her ex-husband.
I'm glad you said that, God damn it. Anybody can do that. Anybody can walk out and say, hey, I need a restraining order, whatever, bro. But at that point in time, you should have been dipped. You should have been dipped before that, because I'm sure it was signs before that. And this is just what they say, you got to be proactive so that you don't be reactive. Damn, I'm getting old, bro. You know how you would start to remember the stuff that your parents used to tell you when you was younger and all of that, and now you be telling you, yeah, bro, you got to be proactive so that you're not reactive. But for the restraining order, I'm sure she done tweaked out a couple times, or it's been a situation that done showed you, like, man, maybe I need to give her some space. Maybe she need a moment to herself. And to double back around, my question to y'all is, do y'all think, I think she did it on purpose. What y'all think, bro? I think she brought you on purpose. It is no reason you're not going to tell me you going to pull up with bro. Like I said, I don't know. It had to have been his crib because he was getting his fish and stuff. You pulled up at my crib with bro, man. That was an instigation. Damn, hold on. She was instigating. She was instigating the situation, bro. Foul, man. And keep him in check, man. Y'all don't let all of this get you riled up and start to thinking that you own her and that she yours forever and all of that. Yeah, it's that's the goal. That's what we pulling for, but man, it's free will. People can do whatever they want to do. That woman can do whatever she want to do, and
Did it to her. We were all in the house. Her ex-husband went and filed a complaint against her, kicked us all out of the house, and stole everything out of the house. Mm-hmm. So that was one. 15 days later, she said, you can move back in the house and, we'll work this out. I waited until I went to court, and I wanted to get it from the judge because, I can go back in the house, and she turns around and says something different. Mm-hmm. So I didn't. I went to court. The judge dismissed it. I never got a chance to tell the judge, this is a bunch of BS. Mm-hmm. So she dismissed it.
Did she dismiss it, or did the judge dismiss it?
The judge, because she never showed up.
Oh, okay. So she didn't show for her hearing.
No, because this was crap. I mean, we were talking on the phone, and, hey, but why did you do that? And, mm-hmm. And she was angry. She said, you're angry, you need to help me with the bills. I said, I'm trying the best I can. And that's all it was all about money.
Right.
Not that I did anything to her.
Right. She was just angry because she wasn't getting money.
But that was a weapon. And the thing is that it was used against her by her ex-husband, so she found a tool. And I explained to her what the tool was for. Don't abuse it. Mm-hmm. If everybody does it, just because that guy did it to her doesn't mean you have to do it.
Right, that's the system up.
Right. It just, that's not the purpose of it.
Right.
Okay? But we've had issues, but I've never laid my hands on her. Okay? I've never made any threats to her. Okay? Anytime that she started yelling and screaming, I sat down. Okay? And that's one of the things that they stress at the academy and the hospital I used to work. Okay? You're the big guy. Sit your butt down because you're the threat. You know, it doesn't matter what she's saying. So I would sit down, and that would piss her off because she knew that I wasn't going to fight.
Right.
She bought a house in Loxahatchee, and she asked me if I wanted to come out there, and I said, okay, you know, I could help her around the house. We lived there for about 3 years before we moved here, and about a
Too nice, bro. I be telling y'all, stop with all of the nice shit. How you break up with her, she get a new spot, and you go help her move her stuff, and I mean, it's not to say that you gotta be cold to her or nothing like it got. I am. I ain't gonna hold you, bro. When we cut, bro. When we done, we done. But I'm like, yo, well, you gotta cut it at some point in time. Like all of this following each other back and forth, that shit is confusing. Then you bringing other people into the situation, like new bro. He probably ain't even know about new bro, man. Like, kill it. It's either one or two ways that it's gonna go. Either it's gonna work, we gonna do it, or we not. Either we gonna do it or we not, bro. All of this half stepping, bro, and it's not to say that it's his fault. I think she like the puppet master. Y'all see like some strings. She had the strings and was do 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 do. She had him wrapped around her finger. Dipped out, got a new spot, and you helped me move. And probably was giving her bread too. Probably was giving her money too. Man, that's how things work.
year into us living there, one of her friends, Chris, that lives here, and her phone is in my BlackBerry, she called me and said, "I want to talk to you when you get home." And I said, okay. So I walked in the house, and comes out of the room. She has two phones, the cordless phone. She hands me one, and I go, hello. And as soon as I say hello, she starts screaming.
She starts screaming?
Yeah, screaming, oh my God, blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, what the fuck? And I just run out through the garage, through the front gate. And I stood there, and I was talking to this woman. I said, what is wrong with her? And said, she have to leave, Lionel. And I'm like, okay, but why is she doing all this? You know, she could have just asked me to leave. But it was all a setup for her to have this witness hearing her screaming. And then 2 minutes later, the sheriff car shows up. So it was all planned out. And again, you can contact the West Palm Beach Sheriff Department. There's a report on it. And I even asked the guy, you know, I didn't do shit to her. I just got home from work, got the phone, and I got yelled at. So there was no animosity on my side. I didn't hate her. And why would I hurt her? What's that going to get me? Time behind bars? This is not where I wanted to be today. Today I want to be on my way to Miami Beach to fish with friends.
Shit, man, that ain't gonna happen.
So I never done anything, you know. Back in November, I asked her, you know, hey, you know, your friend is telling me you're hanging out with this guy. Why don't you tell me the truth? You know, and then she pushed me against my room door, you know, and yeah, I pushed her back. And then I went in my room, closed the bathroom door. There's, you know, it's got some of those BS locks that you can just put a coin on it and open it. So I lock the bathroom, and I go and lay down in my bed and watch TV. She goes in the garage, she turns the power off to where I'm at. So of course, you know, I wanted to go watch TV, so I had to go back outside, and she wants to fight. And I just got in my car and left. She doesn't like that. It's a control thing. She takes a small little thing and blows it up to the point that is an incredible, it makes it an atom bomb. And, you know, and I'm not like that. I'm not that kind of person. I'm not a materialistic person. I like simple things. She likes fancy things. Yeah, we're that different, but she's the only family that I really have here. Okay, so as far as violence, there is no violence. That's just the first thing. She knows exactly where I'm at. Here's a black man just shot, you know, and, just, you know,
got
I
played,
know it's not a
bro.
nightmare. No, it's not a nightmare.
Got played, bro.
Why?
So let me ask you about, you said you knew that he was around or something and that he did plumbing, is that correct?
He lost his job. I know he lost his job. And he's losing.
Why you know so much about bro? How you know so? You're not supposed to know none of that. That's crazy to me. That's crazy. You sound like he know more about him than he do about her. He know when the nigga lost his job. He know where he work at, how much time he invest in it, and all of that, bro. You know too much. And I'm assuming either they gotta be friends or shorty running her mouth while they together, like something, bro. All of this is just foul, bro. And like I said, shorty gonna go 2 states over and go right back and get out there and do the same the same stuff, bro. I feel like he got played. He got played. He got his back.
His home,
Right.
and he just fought back with him. I mean, I know it's rough on a lot of people. He's, I guess he was doing all kinds of handiwork. I don't know. I mean, she didn't tell me.
Do you think they were romantically involved with each other? Is that maybe what happened and why this all unfolded today?
That was the appearance.
Well, I mean, and I'm not saying that happened, okay? Lionel, I'm saying, is that why maybe you got upset? That's what I'm saying, when you got there and saw that.
I saw body language. That's what I'm seeing. I'm trying to see where it all started. I'm not a person that's easily upset.
Right.
Okay, it takes a lot to get me upset, and even at points I walk away. I find it easier for me to sit in and walk away than anything else. I don't like to get into brawls.
Mm-hmm.
It's just not worth it. But there was something, I'm trying to pinpoint it, but it was something with his right arm that just didn't look right. And when I saw that movement, I just reacted.
Do you remember? Can you be more specific on what doesn't look right?
It's just the way he moved his hand. It just,
I mean, can you show me how he moved his hand?
Yeah, just stand up. Stand up and show me. Oh, it's kind of hard like that.
kind of,
Like this?
yeah, and then, it kind of like turned, and I just,
Where'd you have your gun? Was it in your right pocket or left pocket?
it's in my right pocket.
In your right.
Right rear pocket?
Yeah.
With a yes?
Yes.
Okay, I'm sorry. I didn't hear you.
After confessing to the murder, Lionel spends the next hour talking about his ex-girlfriend. The detectives sit quietly and listen as Lionel tells them the things he loved and hated about her.
Bro.
Lionel doesn't show any concern for the man he just killed. He can only think about the woman he just lost.
She just, I wouldn't say selfish, but she cries for attention. And she does take things and blow them out of proportion.
She's female.
But, she came here, and I tried to explain that to her. There was a black man in the military, brought you here. He was simple, and she got used to the fancy things. And I says, you know what? People with fancy things are usually more unhappy than people that don't have a lot of fancy things.
Which is true, but why do you know so much? He a little bit too invested for me. Bro, too invested. Shit, we gonna kill this one right here.
I didn't.
In the end, Lionel would be charged with murder. He claimed that he only reacted in self-defense, but prosecution was able to prove it was murder. Lionel received life in prison without the possibility of parole.
Yeah, I'm sure it wasn't self-defense, bro. You can tell bro was too emotionally invested into the situation. too emotionally invested into the situation. He can tell you more about her life than he could of his own life. Only thing we know about bro is that he liked to fish. That's all we know about him. He can tell you her last 3 exes. He can tell you what they did, how long they did it for, what company, what's up. Bro, he was too invested. He was way, way, way too invested. And I felt like she knew that. I believe she took advantage of that and she manipulated that situation. And I ain't going to go as far as to say that she purposely brought bro there. I'm not going to go as far to say that because maybe she did feel a little bit unsafe or whatever, cool. But it's a possibility, bro. I wouldn't put it past her. And the thing that makes me think that is, bro, all right, we get into it. I go into the room. You go into the, whatchamacallit, the garage and kill the power box. That way I gotta come out. Like, bro, stuff like that. I believe that. Okay, that's a controlling thing. That's a control thing. That's why I said for him, before the restraining order, shit had to come way before that restraining order. Way before. So that should have been the light bulb in your head to let you know, maybe I need a 15. Maybe I need to take it on up the road. But again, that's also tricky because they've been dealing with each other for 10 years. That's a 10-year thing. So my thing with that is that's longer than damn near most of the marriages that's going on out here. So you can't really sit up here and say, well, damn, whatever, because they've been dealing with each other for that long, bro. But I believe that she manipulated that situation and she tried to get him upset, and it worked, bro. And it's crazy that an officer, he was an officer. He done gone through the training, like you said. They tell you to sit down and whatever else. I don't know. Whatever he said is what they tell him, bro. And that's what he did. And still, somehow, some way, still, bro. And man, it ain't funny. Because bro lost his life. That ain't funny, bro. But man, you gotta be careful. They know, and not only just women. Women don't only do it, but men do it as well. Man, people who press them buttons and know how to get you to that place and know how to get you to that point. I would suggest that you figure out a way to get out of that. I would get up out of that, because my thing with it is, bro, for me, when I reverse the situation, I ain't trying to press your buttons and get you to the point where it's, you ready to crash out. Especially if we supposed to be on the same team. We supposed to be on the same team. We supposed to have the same goal, same team, make this work and get enough money to buy a boat and see the big booty girls twerk. That's what we supposed to be doing, man. That's where we supposed to be at with it. But yeah, bro, don't get that invested. I'm telling you, bro, do not get that invested where it's to the point where you know more about her life than you do about your own. I promise you, bro, it will not end out well. That will not turn out well. But again, I ain't no legal advice attorney. I ain't got no clients or nothing like that. That was my opinion. Y'all let me know what y'all think about that video. GTG, the family as always is love. And we out.